Hello and welcome to another inspiring episode of PairFect, the show where purpose meets passion and change makers share the stories behind their impact. I'm Dinah Ventura. Today we're stepping into a world where fashion meets advocacy and where heritage is not just preserved but proudly worn. Our guest isn't just building a brand, she's building bridges. From the heart of Laguna to the fashion streets of Paris, she's championing Filipino craftsmanship through sustainable espadrilles that are turning heads across Europe. With a background in luxury brand management and a passion for elevating local artisans, she's proving that slow fashion has a powerful story to tell, and it starts with purpose stitched into every step. Let's give a warm, perfect welcome to a visionary entrepreneur, cultural ambassador, and founder of Wataru France, Angelique Villaraza. Welcome to Perfect.
Thank you.
So, you're back in the Philippines for how long?
For just a couple of weeks.
So, you travel back and forth between the Philippines and France?
Yes, I'm here at least 1 or 2 times a year.
Okay.
Of course, now it's possible to coordinate everything by Zoom, by WhatsApp video, but it's still better to have face-to-face contact once in a while. So I make the effort to come here.
Yes, that's good. So, let's jump right into your business, Wataru France. So, what sparked the idea for that brand and why shoes? And when did you realize it had a real impact potential?
Yes, I was very lucky because from the beginning, when I moved to France, I really wanted to introduce Filipino fashion in Europe, mostly because when I arrived, I met a lot of Europeans that never even heard of the Philippines.
Wow.
They would ask me, where is the Philippines? Is it beside Tahiti or is it beside Madagascar? And I got a bit, upset. Like, I think more has to be known about the Philippines. And the only language I knew then, what I was familiar with, was the language of fashion, because I was very much into fashion when I was living here. So, by luck, I was here on holiday, and Luis Espiritu came over to my house saying, I want to introduce you to someone who makes shoes. She's from Laguna. And the thing is, my family is from Laguna.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, she's just check it out. Just to tell me what you think of these shoes. So my contact in Laguna came with about 30 samples. Exactly when that happened, I got a phone call from a friend from Paris, a Filipina in Paris, saying, we're joining a trade show in Paris called Premier Class. Usually these trade shows are very expensive to join. And she said they couldn't afford it and they needed to pull together 8 people, at least 8 people, to share in the cost.
Okay.
So it was a bunch of Filipinos there was already bags, there was already jewelry, and they lacked shoes. So I said, well, I'm looking at these shoes right now. They look like the quality is good. What I can do is I can put the samples in my suitcase, fly directly to the trade show, and let's see what happens.
Okay.
So I did that. I had nothing but samples. I simply displayed the shoe samples on a table, and then 35 boutiques placed orders right away. So it was shocking, especially because in these big trade shows, you're competing against made in Italy, made in Portugal, made in France, made in Spain. I mean, the competition's really stiff.
Yes.
So for a Filipino brand to get orders from boutiques, and your display is right beside all of these made in Italy, made in Spain products, it's really,
Amazing.
It was really amazing. So it was a sign, like I have to then develop this business. So I did it the other way around. That's when I knew, oh no, now I have to do a website, now I have to do a logo, so it was the other way around. Usually people do it the other way around.
So first you went there, got orders, and now you had to build a business from scratch. Oh my
Yes.
What kind of shoes were they that you first brought?
They
to
were just
France?
espadrilles. It had a Japanese aesthetic.
Okay.
And what was the best seller were these stripes. And usually I like showing a range of colors because even until now, you never know what people will like. Like my personal taste might be completely different from the buyer's taste. So that first collection ended up being the bread and butter, meaning I show it every year, and that's what sells every year.
Okay.
And because you're in the fashion industry, you have to keep introducing at least 1 or 2 new styles every year. I do that, but it's still the very first collection that's
Still there until now,
yes.
18 years later.
Yes. Well, actually, I started that
15.
only in around 8 years ago, 2017.
Okay. Wow.
Yes. So
Galing.
that's how it started. It was I was in the right place at the right time. The right product ended up on my lap at the right time.
Do you have a physical store there?
No, what I
It's
do
just
is
online?
it's just all samples, and then we take orders.
Okay, so
Yes.
other shops carry.
Yes. So
But it's your brand.
it's my brand, and then I'm stocked in sometimes 28 boutiques, sometimes 35 boutiques. So it depends on the year.
There's been no
Yes.
problem with like meeting the demand in terms of manufacturing, because you have it all
Yes.
manufactured here, right?
Everything is manufactured in the Philippines, and they've made the deadlines, they've made the quantities so far, and they've pulled through even during the pandemic, which is um, uh, the pandemic was a time when people had supply chain problems,
Yes.
so they couldn't get raw materials. You know how it was.
Yes.
They pulled through my contact in Laguna even during those 2 years. It's like super
great.
hard 2 years. And what I did was to save the business during the pandemic, just by pure instinct. So this is luck again. I had all the orders come in February, delivered in February, and then all the borders were closed in March. So basically, all the products, all the shoes were in the boutiques already by the time borders closed down. And then my clients simply went online. They started selling, the boutiques went online, so they were selling online.
They were still able to move the merchandise. Because
Yes,
of,
yes. I helped them. I helped them a lot. I told them they don't have to pay me the balance payment right away. I gave them really good terms. I said, if all you can afford is to pay me 500 euros a month until you get back on your feet, then pay me 500 euros a month until you get back on your feet. And they were so relieved that I gave them kind payment terms that they returned back to me as repeat clients for 2021, 2022, 2023. So it worked in terms of building relationships and building trust.
Yeah.
And
Important.
yes. And then since our shoes are like, they look like they're from a tropical country, they're made of abaca,
Yes.
I helped them position the product. I told the boutique sellers that your clients probably have never, they won't be traveling in a long time. They probably will be stuck for 2 years in their country.
Yeah.
People in Spain stuck in Spain, people in France stuck in France. And by buying these shoes, they feel like they traveled.
Yeah.
By wearing them, it's like, okay, I'm transported to the tropics.
Right.
So that's how I positioned.
There's your marketing background.
Yes. So they were like, oh yeah, that's right. It's like I traveled even without traveling. And that's how
You sold.
they sold. They were,
Okay.
that people only.
That was the pitch.
That was the pitch. People only reorder if they have a 80% sell through. So they sold through because they returned again the next year and the next year.
That's great. Even through the pandemic, imagine.
Yes. After surviving those 2 years, all the other years after that is easy.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I'm sure other curveballs will happen, other challenges will happen, but for
Nothing
me,
like that,
yeah,
right?
nothing like that.
That's true. That's true. So now you've also created something new recently. This map that we're going to talk about, it's called the Textile Map of the Philippines. So what inspired it and how does it connect to your brand's mission?
Yes. So what had been happening to me is every time I'm at a trade show, I have shoes that are made of banig, shoes that are made of yakan, and all these Philippine textiles. And Europeans always ask me, what is this? What's a banig? I have to explain from scratch. What is yakan? And then there's so many textiles that the only way was to make a visual guide on where these textiles are from, basically provenance. Because in France, for example, each region has different wines, different cheese, different kinds of food. That provenance is so important. You have to trace it back. Oh, this is from the Bordeaux region. This is from the Provence region.
Right.
So I had to do the same thing for Philippines.
Okay.
But what shocked me was I started working with an illustrator called Tin Javier. She was the one who did the bulk of the research.
Oh, okay.
In the end, we were shocked on exactly how many textiles.
So it was also a learning thing for you.
Yes. It was like, when you're multiplying,
Yeah.
like we thought, okay, there's going to be 15 different textiles. And then it turned to be so many, like
Okay.
75. Yeah, the 75 that we
So
discovered.
do you want to show it? Like,
Yes.
you brought a print of the map. So is that something that you sell to, or you
Yes.
just show it?
Yes. So people, when I shared online that we have this map, people started asking about it. Like, this when I realized some brands need it.
Yes.
And
Even, I think it could also be like a learning tool for people studying fashion.
Yes.
Textile, right?
Actually, for fashion schools and for students, okay, this thing's kind of stuck there. For fashion schools and for students, many of the schools probably even don't know about all of these. Like, it'll make their life easier if they had something visual like this.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful. The colors.
Ideally, it would be nice to make something like this in textiles, but then it's not so, it's gonna cost.
Yes,
Okay,
I know.
because there's like, look, there's like 75 different, and it'll be hard to label.
Yes.
If it's all, if
Are
the whole
all
thing.
these textiles still available, or
Yes.
they're still in production?
Yes.
Great, 75.
So so even a Filipino born and living in the Philippines their whole life, they not,
would
a
learn
typical
this.
person won't know all of these.
No, I didn't even know this. I know Sinamay.
Yes.
I'm from Bicol, and this is the only one I know. I don't know
Right?
this one. This is Bicol too.
Yes.
So great.
So it became
Okay.
it became one of those, I shared it, and then some brand owners were like, oh my gosh, I need this for my brand because I'm also having a hard time explaining to my own clients in the Philippines. Okay,
Okay.
because even for a typical Filipino.
Yes.
And then this is the shocking part, we got a lot of orders from the United States
For this map.
for the map, because apparently there are a lot of there's like a sizable Filipino community that sells Filipino products in the United States, and they too were having a hard time explaining what are these textiles. So I had to hook one of my L'Oreal friends, my L'Oreal colleagues, who's now New York based,
Okay.
just to handle the United States. Orders of this map for the United States.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
so it became, at first I thought it would just be fashion people interested, and then it turns out we had an order from somebody who works in a university, and then the Philippine Embassy Paris suddenly was like asking me about it.
I can
So
imagine the
basically,
interest, di ba?
yeah.
Like, it's very interesting, really.
Yeah.
How long did it take to make it? Like, the research and the actual printing?
Around 6 months of research.
Galing ng research.
But the girl who's been researching, the illustrator, she, it's only those number of months she focused on the map, but she has a whole background of researching on textiles even before that.
Okay, so she had some.
When she got surprised when when we started making the final map, like how shocking, like how many textiles there were.
Yeah, this is a great story, really. This map. So, how do you balance, naman, let's go to sustainability. How do you balance sustainability with stylish, globally appealing design?
Okay, at first my challenge was people were asking, hey, they're saying, hey, that's made in the Philippines, so the price shouldn't be that high, right? So, I mean, that was the, cliche, like if it's from I can't say developing, emerging nation, if it's from an emerging nation, the price shouldn't be so high. And so I went through a whole period of defending that it's handmade, and this is how much you have to pay if it's handmade, because it's X number of man hours to make these textiles and to make these shoes. And then I had to explain, basically I have to give value. I had to show like why made in the Philippines costs like that. The biggest, one of the biggest expenses is an archipelago, and just getting certain textiles from the mountain province, you have to take like a truck, and it'll take you
the
like
logistics.
the logistics. Okay, there's no infrastructure like Europe where you can take a train everywhere. You know, you have to take lots of land transport.
Transpo and
So that goes into the cost. And so, just with that alone, the products have to be priced a certain way. And because of that, it doesn't make sense to position our products like fast fashion that's only like, you know, 5 euros, 10 euros. It has to be premium priced.
Right.
And
you know that even you even have to explain the same thing to even the local market.
Yes.
They're so surprised.
I'm aware.
Why is it so expensive?
Yes, I'm aware of that. Because somebody asked me the other day, okay, and this the price, the payment of the artisan goes to the artisan, but the 15,000 pesos is also the transport, the climbing up and down mountains, and then paying for the booth, and then you have to do a photo shoot and all of that. So that's why that's the price. And I was explaining that to a Filipino.
Oh, see.
Yes, because they think that people are bloating the price. You know, I don't know. Like,
yes, because of like a lot of Philippine-made products have made it internationally now. So Filipinos living abroad, when they encounter these products, they're wondering, oh, it's so bloated. Why is it so expensive? And then they come back here and they think they can get it for a really smaller price, like a fraction of what they see there. But actually, it's almost the same, right?
yes, yes, exactly. So that had to be explained. So, you know, part of sustainability was convincing first to pay people the fair price, and then instead of having one person own 500 pairs of shoes, it makes more sense to have 500 people wear one pair. I mean, one style.
One style.
So that's why I don't release, in fast fashion, they release a new style every week. With the business I'm doing, it's basically a set collection, and then every year 1 or 2 new styles are added, because that's against, you know, that's the least thing you want to happen, that only one person is buying like 50 pairs.
That's true.
I've
never thought of it that way.
The most sustainable thing to do is to shop in your own closet and to repeat what you're currently wearing.
Right. I love that. Let's talk more about that after a short break.
And this break is brought to you by Meralco, ang liwanag ng bukas. SM, we've got it all for you. Union Bank, it starts with you. Usapang OFW is the show that honors the journeys of our modern-day heroes, our OFWs. Join Chingmi Fernandez, John Dodson, and Rafi Ayang every Tuesday and Thursday at 3 p.m. to hear the real stories behind the sacrifices. Watch it live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Tribune Now on YouTube, and Daily Tribune Official on TikTok.
Want to hear from thought leaders shaping our world? Straight Talk with Chito Lazada and Ted Montelibano dives into leadership, politics, and business every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Catch conversation live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Tribune Now on YouTube, and Daily Tribune Official on TikTok.
Ready for the hot takes of today's biggest issues? Hot Patatas with Vernon Velasco and Carl Magadia delivers the news that matters. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 p.m. Tune in live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Tribune Now on YouTube, and Daily Tribune Official on TikTok, where the real talk happens.
And we're back on PairFect with Angelique Villaraza, talking about her shoe business, but not just any shoe business, because it's based in France and manufactured in the Philippines. So you work with Liliw artisans. How do you keep that partnership authentic despite the distance?
Well, first, my family is from Laguna, so I already have a kind of affinity to Laguna in general. But you know, did you know I read the memoirs of the girl behind Jimmy Choo? In the 1980s, she was dealing with all her suppliers via fax machine only. she would send the orders by fax machine, and that's how they would complete the orders. Today, with WhatsApp video, with Zoom, it's so much easier to coordinate. And
Nice.
literally, while certain samples are being made or a certain production run is done, the supplier, who's all the way in Liliw, calls me by WhatsApp video in France and shows me live. These are the materials, this is the fabric, this is the colors we use, this is the shape. And live, I'm telling them, oh, it has to be.
It's like actually being there, but
It's like
not
being
really.
there. It's like being there, but it's video.
Yeah,
And
nice.
sometimes, if I'm really, really not sure, I'll have some samples sent to me by UPS. I mean, because
Okay.
sometimes you have to,
Yes.
see it.
And then you have to
know,
feel it yourself. Okay.
But our life actually now is easier than those who started international businesses in the 1980s. That they were just relying on drawings and all of this via
Much harder.
fax. So much harder. So we actually have it easy.
Yes.
So
And
there.
it's quicker now too, right?
Yes.
To have things made.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, because you're approving faster. Basically, the delays were before because of it wasn't digital.
Yes.
So snail mail, or I don't
There's
know
a
what they
waiting
were.
period for things.
Yes, it's like
Now it's instant.
yes, because I read the memoir of the guy who started Nike, and he was at that era of fax machine and snail mail, and most of the time he had to physically go to Japan. But I still make an effort to go to the Philippines and visit the factory or meet
Yeah.
up with my supplier when she's doing the trade fairs here, because you have to
Yeah.
Build, still, right?
That's important.
Yes.
The person to person.
Yes.
And- okay. But let's backtrack a little bit. You started out with kids wear
Yes.
before it became shoes, right?
Yes.
With the Laguna.
Yes.
Well, what happened in Laguna when you came
Yes.
home that time? So, can you tell us more about the history about
Yes.
how you started your business? But
Yes.
even let's
Before that.
backtrack even before that, because actually the last time I met you, you were still in corporate here in the Philippines, and then you left to study.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us about your journey from that time.
Yes, so I left to study. I went to Paris. I finished my master's degree there. And then I wanted to start a business of introducing Philippine products in France or in Europe. And I was again on holiday here in the Philippines, attending one of those fairs again, one of those bazaars, and I saw this children's wear brand wherein it was a partner husband and wife team. They were doing this the graphics, the design on baby tees and onesies, and I decided to start with that. I thought it was like an easy thing to do. The shipping won't be so expensive, and I could understand the world of children because I myself had a kid at that time. I had a small kid at that time. So I came across a trade show in Paris called Playtime Paris. It's a trade show that focuses on children's wear. And for a few years, I was showing this children's wear brand, but it wasn't moving as fast as I wanted it to move. You know, I was getting orders here and there, but it wasn't at the level that I was hoping for.
Okay.
And then exactly a few years into that, that's when the shoe opportunity fell on my lap. And even at that time, I was like, this is a risk. I'll show it in a trade show, but there's no guarantees that orders will come in. And then it was just by chance that a whole bunch of orders came in.
Yeah.
And it was at the level of I was looking for already. Like this is the
kind of business that you
Yes.
wanted.
I wasn't interested in selling just one T-shirt here, one T-shirt there. I wanted boutiques to order, which is what happened with the shoes. It was boutiques ordering, basically wholesale.
Yes.
That was the structure I wanted.
Okay. And now, why Wataru? Why that brand? Why that name?
Oh, because there was a charity event here in the Philippines, and designers were invited to improve designs of local manufacturers. Basically, there were several local manufacturers, but the designs were not for export. They were they needed to be tweaked and improved. And so a Japanese designer based in Tagaytay, he joined that charity event to improve the shoes of my contact in Liliw, Laguna. He made like a capsule collection, and his name is Wataru.
Okay.
A capsule collection, and that was the exact capsule collection that was brought to my house that I ended up showing.
Okay.
That's why and the thing is, I said, in the trade show, I was saying Wataru, Wataru, and then it got stuck with the people, like the buyers, and I said, okay, for them it's an easy name to remember. Sometimes people choose a name that's hard for a French person to pronounce, or hard for a German or Italian person to pronounce. And I realized they were pronouncing it like it, so it got stuck. I said, I'm just gonna put France, so so people can differentiate. This is the distribution in France, or this is the arm that's kind of developing the business in Europe.
Okay.
But that's why, because it was from that that designer who he still collaborates with other brands until now to make like capsule collections for them.
Also in the Philippines.
In the Philippines.
Okay, that's a story I didn't know.
Yeah.
So tell me more about your life in Europe, in France. Like, why France?
Yes.
Why did you stay?
Yes. Well, so I was in the Philippines, but working for a French company, L'Oreal. And then one day, I needed a major reset, like, hit the reset button, start afresh. When you're burning out and you just need to physically transport yourself somewhere else.
Yeah, I feel like that sometimes.
Yeah, right? Just to, refresh. And France was so, the easiest next step, because I was already dealing with a French boss, French people in L'Oreal, the regional manager's French. So I decided, okay, I'll just try and see. And okay, if it was really horrible, if I'm traumatized, if the country kicks me out, then that's it. Then it is what it is. But the opposite happened. The country sucked me in. It's like I easily
embraced you.
The country embraced me. I got along with the people. I like the food. It was easy for me to learn the language. I didn't struggle. So maybe if there were too many struggles or too many barriers, maybe I would have quit. But for me, there weren't any struggles or barriers. That's why I made it. Oh, I think I can easily do one more year. And then 5 years later, oh, I can do one more year. And then 5 years later, until I'm still there.
Okay. So what is it like having two homes, like across the world?
It makes for a far more enriching experience, because you have the best of both worlds. You have a point of comparison. You can see how each side can improve. So, both have their own strengths. So both have their own weaknesses. And then, of course, if you're sick and tired of one place, you can always go to the other place. Sometimes, kind of burn out and like, okay, I've had it, like talking to the same people and hanging out and doing the same things, and then you can move to the other place.
Yeah.
But the huge difference is, before I thought there was a lot more cultural activities and like a rich cultural life in France. But my experience of the Philippines this trip is the culture and arts has evolved a lot. Versus 20 years ago.
It's great.
I mean, before it was like, but there's nothing there. You're just gonna go mauling. But yesterday we were at the ballet, and then there was a lot of art events, and several happening at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's not what I remember.
So different now, right?
Yes.
And
so
it's a good development.
Yes. And I think more people traveled, and then they bring back their ideas here, because you go to BGC and there's like every specialty of say matcha, all the types of concepts for matcha, or say yoga and Pilates, and then all the concepts. Like they're multiplying, like, what? There's a market for all of this, even if it's a niche idea of a niche kind of Pilates or niche kind of yoga, there's no market for that. And that's
apparently.
Apparently, because when you're based abroad, you have this idea that most Filipinos are concerned about the price of rice.
Yeah, so that's the perception, really.
Yeah, like it makes a big deal. Like people will vote based on the price of rice. Like I'm gonna vote for you if the price of rice is 20 pesos.
Yeah.
The thing is, when I got here, okay, there are all these yoga studios, there are all these matcha cafes. These clients aren't concerned about the price of rice. If you can afford yoga classes, if you can afford
matcha,
which can be very expensive actually. Even in France, it's super expensive. that that means there's a whole sector. I guess there's the price of rice,
Right.
okay, or problem. There's a whole sector that's doing this, that's traveling and then spending in all these, kind of extra. I mean, come on, they're extras,
Yeah.
okay?
True.
Right? So there, I saw the duality. Yeah.
So you really all these things now.
Right. I used to
You
live
have
in.
a broader perspective than most people now, I guess.
I got shocked. I mean, I used to live in BGC when there were only 2 buildings in BGC. There's only Pacific Plaza Towers and Essensa. I was in Pacific Plaza Towers. And then now, 20 years later,
What happened?
like
here?
it's full.
And it's always traffic.
It's full. I used to walk around when the whole BGC was empty lots and grass. So that, that's how I remember BGC. It's a walkable city. It's all grass.
Yeah.
Then suddenly, okay,
Yeah.
now there's all these buildings, but it's still walkable.
Yes, that's the
They
point
kept
of
the
that.
sidewalks.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yes, I'm like, oh, thank God they kept the sidewalks because that's what made the city nice. That there's
Yeah.
actual sidewalks.
People really walk and jog in
Yes.
BGC, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And I think they're also doing the same thing with Makati now. They're developing the underground walkways, connecting everything via walkways.
Yes.
Ayalas. They want that.
I know there's car-free Sundays where you can walk around, and I like that whole idea because, for example, Europe is full of walkable cities,
Right.
and you want your people walking because they stay healthy, and it's so expensive to maintain an unhealthy
Healthcare.
population, right? You're better
Healthcare.
off making them healthy, making the
Yes.
population healthy naturally than paying for the healthcare,
I
right?
wish that our leaders would know that.
Yes, right?
Keep people healthy.
Yes,
Anyway,
exactly.
So, listening to you, you're living, as you said earlier, a pipe dream for many people, many Filipinos. They want to study there, live there, and have a business there. And for you, it seems it's been so easy, right? It's been so smooth, no problems, not really. But what would be your advice for people who may want to break into the international trade? What kind of advice would you give them?
Okay, a lot of people make the big mistake of thinking they show in Paris, they show in Milan, and they've made it. But actually, showing the product is just the beginning of a whole long journey of challenges and problems, basically. Because after showing, one has to advance the production cost, and then advance the transport cost, which is double the price. And then good luck if people pay on time. Usually the clients pay
A year
30
later.
days, 60 days, 90 days, and some a year later.
Wow.
So you have to be able to stay alive long enough to, you have to have capital, basically. So you have to have,
Deeper pockets than you think.
yes. Because
Okay.
people budget only until I'm going to budget enough to join a trade show. But it's not just the trade show. There's this, you have to stay alive for a year. And then you need capital, access to capital. So for those who want to do that, you have to have several different income streams. In case this thing fails, clients don't pay, the shipment gets whatever, destroyed, or you have your 7 other income streams. That's the ideal. And we saw in the pandemic, if you only have one income stream, you're only one step away from total bankruptcy. And that's why you have to have 2, 3, 4, but ideally 7 income streams.
Wow,
So
7, you figured that out. Huh?
one has to work their way towards that because import export, it's a kind of it's what's this capital I mean, you need capital. I mean, if you don't have capital, you're better off doing maybe freelance writing, something that doesn't require
money.
Okay, so
Outlay.
yes, exactly. It's like someone saying, I want to build a mall, but I don't have anything to build the mall with. I mean, well, you need something to build the mall with.
I see.
Exactly like that.
Okay, very real.
Yes, that's
Real
the
advice.
That's the harsh truth
Yeah.
because some people are like, oh yay, there's a contest I won, and I'm now gonna be in Milan. But then, okay, without
a lot more to it than that.
yes, yeah,
To make it
yeah,
and sustain it.
yes,
You've been able to sustain yours for what, 8 years now?
yes, yes. So it's challenging,
Yeah.
especially I only discovered later on about how people will pay the balance payment only after 30 days, 60 days, and 90 days. I learned that the hard way. I thought that after I ship,
They'll
they're
pay
going
you
to
right
pay right
away.
away.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had all these basically expensive lessons.
Oh.
For example, the cost of shipping became worse during the Ukraine war when the
Oh my
cost
God,
of gasoline, price of fuel, even regular airplanes. Economy class is business class prices and business class is first class prices. So you can imagine the cost of shipping.
Oh yes.
So basically, if you don't have a way of like funding that until people pay you
Your
back,
business will just fail,
and
die.
most businesses fail because they're undercapitalized. Yes.
So how is it now? Has it like tapered off or balanced out or something? What happened?
You know, at least the anxiety and stress of the 2 pandemic years is gone. So people are traveling again and they're out shopping again. So it's like the worst is over for now.
Yeah.
But I think all the businesses who went through that
And survived.
they're more prepared because, you know, many of them have gone digital. They have the digital part. They have to do digital banking and things they had to set up from scratch back in 2020. Now they're equipped.
So what's your vision for your brand, Wataru France?
Well, I just want to focus on shoes for now because it takes up a huge chunk of my time. And I also didn't want to spend like 12 months of the year like breaking my back working. One of the reasons why I only sell spring summer and not fall winter is because
you can have the break you want.
there's a break,
The balance in your life.
yes. And in the first place I wanted to represent the Philippines, and the Philippines mostly produces spring summer and resort wear.
Yes, because of our weather.
And I say leave the fall winter stuff, the leather, the fur, to those who have the expertise for that, like Italy, like Russia. Those are the countries that specialize in fall winter. You know, all these materials and fabrics for fall winter. I'm like, if I make the Philippines try to do fall winter, it's like trying to turn a dog into a cat. You know, and like don't force the issue anymore. So I'm like, better to just stick to resort wear and summer, and then I kind of have a break for the rest of the year. You also want to travel. I want to spend time with my son. You know, kind of want to have quality of life. Actually, there's no point in living in Europe if you don't have quality of life.
Exactly, because
That's
that's
the point.
the place where you should have quality.
Yes, you want to have time to visit museums. You want to have time to visit all the European countries. Or else, what's the point? Like, I might as well just like be a slave somewhere. I'm not going to do that.
Stuck in your office.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm so happy to have had this chance to talk to you and catch up with you after all these years.
Yes.
And thank you for gracing our show. And now we just have to say goodbye for now until the next time that you can come and visit again. Before we leave, would you like to say something to our viewers? Invite them to visit your
Yes.
website.
Yes.
Do you have any shows coming up?
Yes. If you're interested to see what I'm doing, that's www.wataru.fr. FR. That's the website, and then the Instagram is at wataru.fr. Just to see like what kind of styles are being released that's made in the Philippines but being released in Europe, what styles are sellable there, or to have a general idea if you want to do the same thing, what I'm up to. And then feel free to send me a message there if you have any questions, if you need mentoring, if you need advice.
That's very important now. I think because the business, like people who are making made in the Philippines products need like words of wisdom from people who have done it.
Yes,
Yeah.
so you don't make the same mistakes.
Yeah.
I already did all the mistakes, so kind of just learn from me.
Thank you once
Thank
again.
you.
So, but before we end, okay, so check out Angelique's work and also check this out, PairFect Fam. We've got a deal you won't want to miss. From everyday essentials to signature favorites, enjoy up to 70% off on select styles from Hurley and Aeropostale. Yes, your go-to brands are on major sale. And here's a bonus. If you've got a copy of the Daily Tribune, you get an extra 25% off on regular priced items, but only until August 31. So, again, big thanks to Angelique Villaraza for sharing her incredible journey of heritage, heart, and building a global platform for Filipino craftsmanship. Her story reminds us that fashion can be more than style. It can be a statement of purpose, identity, and sustainability. Whether you're crafting a brand, honoring your roots, or bringing local talents to the world stage, Angelique shows us that when you lead with intention, you create impact that goes far beyond the runway. I'm Dinah Ventura, and you've been watching PairFect, where stories of purpose meet everyday lifestyle. See you next time.
Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat mga katribo at sa mga taga-subaybay natin sa Daily Tribune. Nandito po ulit ang inyong lingkod. Ako po si Manong Joe Saldariaga para sagutin ang inyong mga katanungan. May tanong ang isang netizen sa atin, Manong Joe, sinasadya ba ng Meralco na pababain ang presyo ng kuryente tuwing tag-ulan at malamig ang panahon? Napakagandang tanong, pero ang sagot ko po dyan ay hindi po ito sinasadya ng Meralco. Ang paniwanag po dyan ay simple lang. Ang cooling appliances tulad ng aircon, electric fan at refrigerator ay madalas may pinakamalaking contribution sa monthly bill po natin sa bahay. Kapag tag-ulan, mas malamig ang panahon. Mas madali para sa mga cooling appliances na maabot at panatilihin ang sinet nating temperature dahil malamig na rin ang paligid. Nababawasan din ang oras ng paggamit natin, lalo ng aircon. Minsan, hindi na kailangan buksan ang aircon natin dahil electric fan lang, sapat na at komportable na tayo. Ang resulta, mas mababang konsumo ninyo sa kuryente sa inyong bahay, mas bababa ang inyong electricity bill. Ngayon, kapag mas mababa na nga ang konsumo, bumababa din ang overall demand sa power supply. At kapag mababa ang demand, may posibilidad na bumaba na rin ang generation charge, ang pinakamalaking bahagi sa bill ninyo na may malaking epekto sa buong presyo ng kuryente. Kaya kung mapapansin ninyo, sa mga buwang malamig at maulan, madalas bumababa ang inyong power bill. Hindi dahil sinasadya, kundi dahil sa natural na pagbaba ng inyong konsumo at gayon din ang demand. Patunay dito ang naging paggalaw ng presyo ng kuryente ngayong buwan. Ngayong Hunyo, sa ikalawang sunod na buwan ay bumaba ang rate ng Meralco, halos 11 centavos ang decrease sa presyo ng kuryente dahil sa tapyas ng generation charge. Sana ay naliwanagan ko po kayo sa aking explanation na ito kung bakit mas mababa ang inyong electricity bill tuwing tag-ulan o rainy season. Para sa iba pang mga katanungang Ask Manong Joe uli, hanggang sa muli mga katribo at sa mga taga-sunod natin sa Daily Tribune.